Hello and welcome back, Magic lovers, to part 3 of my Niv-Mizzet Perun deck. And part 1 and part 2, the links are in the description. Part 1 has the deck tech. Don't want to dwell on it too much. Let's just hop into some games. Alright, I got another game. I'm on the play. Playing against... what is this? Whenever you cast an instant or sports... oh, okay. So, wizards? I'll keep this hand. I got a gutter snipe. I gotta try it out. Now they've mulliganed to 6. Is it wizards, huh? Alright, well, I'm still gonna take 2 damage to look at your hand. And hopefully gonna draw a land. Wizard's Lightning, Dual Shot, Failed Inspection, Counter Target Spell, Draw a Card. That's so much worse than Dismiss. Alright. Alright, it's a land, or not a land. I should have played the Delta. Oh, Chain Lightning is sorcery. Doesn't really matter then. And also, I saw their hand, so... they have to draw a 1 mana wizard. Dual Shot does what now? 1 damage to up to 2 target creatures. And so it doesn't kill Gutter Snipe, doesn't kill Dak Faden. That's what really matters. But I need to draw a land. Maybe I shouldn't have kept this. Oh, there's a land. Alright. So... Field Inspection. Wizard's Lightning does kill Gutter Snipe, does kill Dak Faden. But it also gets dazed. Because they don't have a wizard in play. Alright. Alright, well, that's another land at least. It's colorless, which isn't as great for Niv-Mizzet. I'm just going to lead off with a Gutter Snipe. I don't know if I daze the removal spell. It does do 2 damage to them. Or do I daze this thing? Flying Haste, 2/2. Probably, actually. Let's daze that. I want this Dak Faden to hang around for a little bit. I need to draw cards off it. Of course, it's worse for my against their Wizard's Lightning, because now I can't counter it. We'll see what happens. No, I guess it doesn't kill Dak Faden. Not directly. And save targets. That's interesting. I'll get rid of this. And another land. Might be a little greedy to throw away 2 lands. And a deck with a 6 mana commander. Alright, done 4 damage with Gutter Snipe so far. Might just die to a Wizard's Lightning, but that's actually fine. Alright, there's a Pyromancer. It deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Yeah, clearly the Dak Faden is where they want to hit. So I might be blocking with my Gutter Snipe. Unsummon. Alright. Not sure how much that does. So let's draw. They didn't play a land. Let's get rid of Remand and a land, I guess. We got 3 of them going. So let's Gutter Snipe. And then we will Chain Lightning this thing. They can Wizard Lightning, Dak Faden. That's fine. It's not great, but I don't think I want to hold up a counterspell necessarily. Maybe I should. Alright, now let me go to my turn. So now it ticks up. Spell Pierce, Disallow, Sky Diamond, Reflecting Pool. These are also good. Alright, Spell Pierce and Island. Play Sky Diamond. And attack. If they want to Wizard Lightning the Gutter Snipe, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not countering that. So we've seen that. We haven't seen the Dual Shot or the Failed Inspection. I assume we've seen all their lands. So there's 2 unknown cards in their hand. Target creature with power 2 or less can't block. Can't be blocked this turn. Do I? Whatever, you can have it. Ponder Field of Ruin? Man. My cards just keep, they're like so good. So we'll play the Coalition Relic. And say go. You can take 2 damage on a deck. Not that concerned. Countering Adeliz if it gets cast. Do I Cryptic it? Let's just disallow. Save the Cryptic. Good chance there's a concession coming on. They can still hit Dak Faden. No, they're hitting me. I'm at 25. It's going to be harder when I have a 5/5 flyer in play, which is probably fairly soon. So let's put a charge counter. Sweltering Suns. Let's go red. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Man. Alright, can't quite cast Cryptic Command, but Niv-Mizzet should still be pretty good. Alright, pack it in. Alright, I got another game. This is another game versus Najeela. I'll keep this hand. I'm on the draw again, which is suitable since I won the last game. Grizzlebrand. I'm still not over that. Alright, no turn 1 ramp. Which makes my remove soul a little better. I do need to draw another land. So I might have to play this Azcanta. No, I can't. I can't play the Azcanta yet. I need to be able to remove soul. Oh, geez. Lotus Petal, huh? Alright, well I can't do anything about a turn 2 Najeela. Not with this hand, not yet. Alright, there's a land. Alright, I don't think I can really afford, like, I need to play this remove soul to hit a creature. If they get another creature on the board, especially another warrior, I'm in a lot of trouble. But on the other hand, I need answers. Let's search. Lets me filter my draws. Eventually turns into another land. Hopefully I can find some answers to this. Alright, no creatures. That's great. Yeah, let's put a mountain in our graveyard. Chain lightning. Hopefully it resolves. Seems like it won't. Oh, nope, it's got 3 damage on it. They can do 3 damage to me. Still worth it. No, I can't pay 3 mana. Alright, so Azcanta worked out. Alright, Brainstorm's fine. Can't do anything about it even. Oh, I can mental misstep it. Why do I always forget about mental misstep? Alright, this turn I want to land. braid's so good, though. Yeah, I need a land. Alright, a land. Alright, let's play the Coalition Relic. Alright, the relic resolved. We have Dak Faden. Oh, that was one thing I was worried about. I can't counter him. That sucks. That sucks a ton. Alright, they get their one. No, we'll cast the Electrolyze on Dak Faden. And the token, for that matter. I do need to draw a land here, though. Chrome Mox. Get rid of Mizzet's Mastery. Or Factor Fiction. Mizzet's Mastery could be really good. So could Factor Fiction. Oh well. We'll go blue. Anyways. Blue's good. Almost a 7 in my graveyard to flip this Azcanta. You want to tap this? Yep, okay. It's a charge counter. That's what it looks like. That's interesting. I had to know that was coming. Alright. So it flips no matter what. I'm definitely flipping it. No, I think Torrential Gearhulk's pretty good. Let's transform it. Oops. Oh, I can't cast it? Alright, I can't cast Niv-Mizzet. I don't have enough red. Alright, oh well. I've got Azcanta. I've got Torrential Gearhulk. Najeela costs 7. Merchant Scroll. Oh, I can't. There's nothing to target. What did I do? I just assumed there was a counterspell in my library. I guess I can abrade my own Coalition Relic. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh well, mistakes happen. Yeah. That was dumb. Dig through time. Okay. Okay, there's a Bird of Paradise. There's an island. 1, 2. I still need another red mana. This seems loose. This should probably not be in the deck. Go ahead and get in with the Torrential Gear Hulk. We are at 7 at least on the Mizzet's Mastery scale, so I need to just draw a red mana, but there's not too many left in the deck. Ponder. Alright, you got a Ponder. Now, maybe I should ask Hana in response. I might draw something that matters. I don't think I care about countering a Ponder that much. Okay, play a Bloodstained Manor and then pack it in. I would have drawn Dismiss, Jace, Keranos, or Mountain from this. So Dismiss is the only option I would take in Dismiss. And then I would have drawn Force Spike for the turn. I would have passed up this red mana. But, you know, still, they're a long way from casting a 7 mana Najeela. It turns out just killing it. It only has 2 toughness. It's actually pretty good. So that, Academy runes, I keep forgetting to take out. And then, how many mountains do I have? I thought I had another mountain. Alright, we'll throw another mountain in there. So 3. Alright. Alright, I got another game. I am on the playing against Animar, Soul of the Elements. Hand's fine. I'm on the draw? I could have sworn I was on the play. Nope, they rolled better. Okay. Well, no turn 1 ramp at least. Shackles does steal an Animar, kind of. It's slow and it's very special circumstances. Let's see, Meyer. Yeah. I don't really want all this, do I? Let's shuffle. I want a way to kill Animar or counter it for 2 mana, not 3 mana. 3 mana I won't have when they go to cast Animar, unless they stumble for a second, which could happen. Alright, we got Sylvan Caryatid. Another land. Let's play Steam Vents tapped. I guess we could bluff, but maybe we should have bluffed. It's such a low price to bluff. Whenever you cast. So I'm praying that he's weak enough that Chandra can kill it. Or I draw a spell. So not casting something for 1 mana this turn is pretty good. Let's hold up the Disallow. You'd have to cast 3 creatures this turn. 4 creatures this turn. Nothing? Alright, well I gotta try it. I could have like Venser or something. Kill that. And then next turn, Shackles is active. Alright, Animar's back. At least they don't get a counter on it if they kill the Shackles that way. If they use like a Reclamation Sage or something. I'd like that, please. And I have one turn to do it before my mana's back up. I can hold up a counter spell pretty much indefinitely. Creatures you cast with power 4 or greater, because I've never seen this card. +1 and +1 and trample. Alright. Alright, I don't really want to let's see what we draw. Just a land. I don't really want to play a creature. If they get back Animar, it's not super great for me. Alright. Power 4 or less. Costs 2 less to cast. Now, Mana Confluence. To return it. Because I really kind of want my Chandra to stick around. Turn target creature, draw 2 cards. This one. Also gets rid of the ability for them to use this to cast another 4 power or higher creature. Alright, Chromox Wasteland. So that's pretty good. It doesn't directly help me deal with that creature. I might Chromox this 4 spike away. Nope, I'd like to keep this Animar for as long as possible. Let's tick up. Maybe I should tick up and add mana and cast Niv-Mizzet. Mission briefing. Nah. Let's play Wasteland. Let's play Chromox. Exile and 4 spike. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. And keeps up negate, but nothing else. Just negate and misdirection, technically. I think it's worth trying. I came here to cast my commander. I guess I should attack. This has got to be a spell, not a creature. Like, not an ability. So, it's unlikely that Misdirection's ever going to do anything. It's just, this deck just basically just plays creatures. It's unlikely that Niv-Mizzet's going to draw me cards from their spells either. Beginning of next end step, return to the battle. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. So I need to be careful of that against my opponent's Animar. Alright, there's that creature again. This time I can Chandra minus it. No untapping any permanents. Then 1 damage to them. I can actually start stacking up some damage against them. Let's kill that thing. Let's play the Loot House. I'm not going to wasteland anything, so we'll play the Gutter Snipe. Now I have disallow up. Alright, this is big. Nissa. Negate. 2 damage to each opponent. I draw a card. 1 damage to my opponent. Yeah, Gutter Snipe's been getting in some damage. I don't know, it's worth it. What did he get in? 5 damage last time, and then 2 so far this time. Actually, in this case, it's going to help me close out the game. So we'll loot. I don't really want the Coalition Relic. Oh, Lumos draws me a card. Or that's awesome. Yeah, they're super dead here. Alright. 1 damage. That should close it out. I got Chandra to finish it if something happens. Alright, so that was a match. I'm going to keep this hand. They're on the draw again. But I have an Electrolyze that kills it. It takes a depletion counter to do so. I also have the Treachery. Do I want to play? Now we got a turn to decide. I might just draw red mana. Might want to play Jace. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe I did. I think I added up what turn they'd be playing it wrong. Soul Ring. Birds of Paradise. Yeah, I should have played the Sandstone Needle. Alright, Kierno's pretty good. Later. Let's hope they can't cast 2 creatures this turn. It's best if they cast no creatures this turn. Yeah, at least 1. Oh no, Growing Rights. Okay. Protean Hulk. Alright, that's going to be a problem. Alright, well I gotta kill that thing. The Hulk, that costs 7 mana at least. Do I just play Keranos next turn? They could just Animar, in which case I might just have to fire Animar. Although I could Treachery it, untap my lands, and then do something else. Jace. I do lose the Sandstone Needle. pretty much every avenue I play next turn. Alright, I think I treachery it. It does open me up a little bit. Cryptic command. That doesn't really help. Lands are awkward. And we'll play the Jason. Hopefully that'll help us find. I guess that makes Keranos a 1 mana cheaper too. They need a land to play Protean Hulk. And then it's just a 6/6. It's just a big old dork. Alright, there's the Protean Hulk. Now let's tap and draw. Hopefully we get a red land. Alright, that's pretty good. I need to keep up Cryptic Command and the like. Do I swing this into... Nah. I don't want to give him an opportunity to recast it. Solemn. Counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. I don't know if Solemn's the best thing to counter. Maybe they have something better. We'll see. They have a Reclamation Sage that isn't a mana ability. Activates the ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability. Alright. So, that's Jace. I guess we can wait on that anyways. We only want to do that once. So let's say go. We've got the Confluence to deal with Protean Hulk. We could return this thing and draw a card. Remove soul. Alright. I guess fire and ice. I could have probably done that on my turn and seen an extra card. Alright, we'll do that. Keranos costs 4. That's pretty good. And then we got Remove Soul and Mana Leak up. Nowhere even close to casting Niv-Mizzet. but hasn't really mattered. Alright, you can have that. I don't really care about that. We can, whenever land is revealed, draw a card. A red land. It's pretty awesome. Chrome Mox. Still doesn't cast us our commander. I think I'll just tick up Jace. They can just block, so there's no reason to do anything. Kessig. Well, that's pretty good. Wayward Soultooth. Yeah, it's a 5/5. It's pretty good. Surprised to see they have Negate in their deck. I hit Daze. This doesn't do anything. Red, green, +2, so it makes it a 2/5. So it doesn't currently do anything. 3 damage. Let's cast Mystic Confluence. I just don't want them to Kessig Wolf run that thing, and I want to draw some cards. I want to get 2 of the red mana so that I can cast my commander. So that's getting there. And they got 1 card in hand, and it is that card. The whatever that dorky thing. Alright. I can't do anything. I can't counter that. And I can't counter the next one. I wasn't really gonna. I would like a way to deal with this Kessig Wolfram though. I guess I could just use Jace and let it go. Because my life total doesn't matter. Alright, let's kill that thing. I forgot that thing's a 4/3. So, let's not sacrifice our red land. Oh, that's pretty good. Keranos is active now? Oh man, Niv-Mizzet just pretty much automatically activates Keranos, doesn't it? It's like a one-man show. They're so good together. Don't need to tick up Jace on anything. This has been a beating. Like, even if they now have a way to get back Animar, I think I'm soundly ahead. Alright. Has to enter the battlefield. I don't know if I care enough to... Well, okay. Every counter spell I cast draws a card, so I guess I counter anything I can at this point. Alright, they're not even playing that little guy. Alright, draw a card, 1 damage to you. One damage. Let's cast Cryptic Command and bounce that thing. And just end the game. Turn target permanent. Draw a card. And draw another card. Do 1 damage. Do another damage. Attack with all creatures. Man. It turns out that taking control of Animar is pretty good. There's a decent chance in most average games that they're able to take their Animar back. I think it's pretty rare that they're not that they just have no way to take it back. And this deck seems a little hinky. There's some weird stuff going on here. I'm not sure exactly. It doesn't seem like a very standard Animar build. Another game, I am on the play. Playing against Tajic. Alright, it's a new one. Mox Diamond, remove soul. It's questionable. I'm going to try it. I don't know if it's right. It's probably not right. I can cast most of the spells in my hand. So I guess that's something. But not Keranos, not Treasure Cruise, not my commander. Alright, Temple is pretty good. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures. Oh, that's actually pretty good against my deck. So my deck wants to deal Keranos, for example. Non-combat damage. But you can kill it itself. It's other creatures. Alright, so I haven't drawn a land yet. Maybe I should have Mox Diamonds just to get the red mana online. So, alright, that's fine. Not worried about that. Bone Splitter, okay. That's very good. This thing makes a copy? It's like a super Bone Splitter? And I haven't drawn a land. That's a real bummer. So I guess I shouldn't have kept this hand. At least I can start putting some of these cards into my graveyard. Oh, well that one's really good. So that's an easy counter. Come on. I'm going to be in trouble soon. They're down to 3 cards, but I need a land. Otherwise, none of my counter spells work anymore. God dang it. What? This is... Like, I should have drawn something by now. It's been way too many turns. I mean, yes, my keep was greedy. Alright, you got your commander. Spend your mana on equipping. Much less than ideal. Field of Ruin. Alright. Let's Mox Diamond and pitch Field of Ruin. I guess I could use the Field of Ruin, but I'd rather, yeah, I think Mox Diamond's the right way to go. So the commander has haste. So that's the thing. Still need another land. Field Marshal. Oh, geez. Alright. I was a little bit worried about that. I don't think that counts as land. I mean, it does. Actually, helps me get to Keranos. Might give me somewhere. First strike and then mentor. That sucks. That's a lot of damage. Alright, so there's no reason to put the Snapcaster Mage in front of all this. Can I get a land? Nope. Alright, well, Mystic Confluence is online. I don't think I can afford to Keranos. I think I have to Mystic Confluence these creatures away. Maybe they'll cast a pre-combat creature. I would have been fine if I drew lands, like, ever. I mean, I did eventually. Alright. Turn, target creature, draw a card. This one and that one. Alright, Wasteland. That's land. I don't think they can recast both of them unless they have a land. Horsemanship. All right. Alright, we'll treasure cruise. Take the cruise. And I think I gotta make my Keranos. They can do some damage to me. Lubu, Lord of Shu. It's got a nice ring to it. As long as you control a permanent name. Wow, 2 different permanents? It's so weird. So it can't be blocked by creatures with horsemanship. Or it's set by creatures with horsemanship. So losing a land was unideal. But Keranos, very, very good. Alright, there's a Sword of the Animist. I mean, they've got tons of lands. So, like, this is much worse than one of these that does more damage. Alright. So it's a 5/5. It's a 7/5. Jeez, that thing is huge. Alright, they get another land. They get a copy of the Battle Forged Axe. Uh, 3 damage there. Treasury's pretty good. So let's steal that thing. And say okay. Unfortunately, I had to get rid of everything in my graveyard to do that treasure cruise. Maybe I should have held on to the treasure cruise. Alright. I can't counter one of their soldiers. Alright, there's Tajic, which I can't counter. Alright, there's the Sword of the Animist. Okay. It's a lot of damage, but it doesn't kill me. And if I manage to draw a non-land card, then I can kill it. But then I can't counter it coming back down. But at least Lubu is untapped. Alright. 8 damage. So I'm at 5. I can't dig through time. I guess I can wasteland the cavern. Let's see if we even hit it on land. Three damage. Kill that cavern. And just say go. We can't actually dig through time now? But I want the blocker just in case something goes wrong. I don't see myself dig through timing because of the mana requirements for everything else I need to do. Five life. Here's Argus costs. We'll just go ahead and remand that. And they are just passing the turn. Search for Azcanta, 3 damage to them. I just can't afford to play any of these things. Yeah. They have a haste creature. They have a lot more mana than I do. This Argus costs again. So we'll Snapcaster and remand. If they manage to get another mana, if they haven't drew another land, then they can recast that. And I might just be able to kill it. Alright, Lightning Bolt is fantastic. Alright, they pack it in. I didn't think I could win that. That was, what would I have drawn? If I draw a land, it won't let me. A Braid. Where are my lands? Seriously, there's one, there's two. Jeez, it would have been a while before I drew a land. Like, they might have been able to find a way to win. Alright, I got another game. I am on the play. Mulliganing this. Playing against Azusa again. I'm on the play. Mox Diamond Brainstorm. Yeah. Wow. This is not great. I guess. Like, what else do you do? Like, the next time, like, I can use it for the Izzet Signet, but the next time I use it, it's gone. So maybe hold on to it for my commander? Alright, another land. Pretty good. We'll hold off. I have this 4 spike for Azusa. That's actually might be pretty good. Let's see. Draw a Cavern. Cascade buffs. Alright, we'll wait another turn. Actually, super close to casting our commander. No, thank you. I'm going to take a big old pass on that one. So one final change that I'd like to make would be cutting this Mizzet's Mastery. It was just far too hopeful. I think Miscalculation, another 2-mana counterspell, is fine replacement for the card. Couple notes is that as foretold, honestly, if I play the deck again, I'd like to see if this deck, I think has the potential, this card has the potential to be really quite good. Just like the fact that you can cast spells for free on your turn and your opponent's turn, and then when Niv-Mizzet's out, you can just keep you can keep drawing spells for everyone you cast, so you get to keep getting gas. I think it doesn't take much for things to go right for As Foretold to work. So we didn't get to see it very much. We did see it be pretty good in one game. So I think I could probably keep it. And then the other thing that I'd like to note is these double mana lands are really good in Azusa and the Gitrog monster because, like, you get to play extra lands every turn. In this deck, the tempo loss from having to sacrifice a land, and these are the depletion counter ones, and I'm also running these enters the battlefield tapped. You can use them normally, but you can sacrifice them for double mana. But the tempo loss of losing a land is actually pretty big. That said, I think they were good more often than they were bad. And there was quite a few times where they were really quite good. So I kind of like them. I mean, maybe you might not run the full set of 4 because there's another one over here. Maybe you don't want to run all 4. Maybe you want to run a few less because it's pretty awkward when you end up with 2 of them. That's not nearly as good. But when you got 1 of them, and then you got the Chromatic Lantern can turn them into normal lands. I think they're pretty good. I kind of liked them. But if you're playing the deck, that might be your preference. You might not want to play with any of them. Might not want to play with as many of them. But I thought they were pretty good. So the deck was a lot better than I expected. I genuinely thought it was just a pile, but I think a lot of that chalks up to the fact that counter spells and burn spells together are pretty good. And that's kind of the meat and butter of what makes Keranos so good. There were a lot of games where I didn't even need to cast Niv-Mizzet, and people, I just won the game without even casting Niv-Mizzet. Although we did get to cast Niv-Mizzet quite a few times. And some of those games were people conceding early because they didn't like playing against a million counter spells. But I think for the most part, most of those games, like, I had countered like their most critical spells already. They were probably running out of gas. So, I was probably ahead in most of those games anyways. Especially the last Azusa game. Normally I'd cut a game like that, but I thought that was hilarious. I think, countering Azusa is very good. The deck can deal without Azusa, but the fact that we were also about to cast Niv-Mizzet and we had countered their Azusa, we were, I think they were probably right to concede. I think they were probably going to lose that game. And it probably would have been pretty grindy, although Niv-Mizzet makes things go pretty fast. But, so the deck is really pretty good against decks with instants and sorcery spells of their own. So, I don't know how good it really is against Narset. That was such a strange game. Missing my trigger was a pretty big deal there. Like, I could have kept Niv-Mizzet in play. I could have brainstormed and then flusterstormed and possibly even drawn something off the brainstorm. If I hadn't missed the trigger, things wouldn't have gone that weird way with me misplaying with the manland and then shame conceding. So, I mean, that's something that would never happen in paper Magic. You wouldn't miss your trigger like that. You'd say, well, this is still on the stack. I want to do this. You just say that. And then in Magic Online, I just clicked F2 one too many times, and the thing was resolving, and my Niv-Mizzet got bounced, whereas I very easily should have been able to deal with that. So that was an interesting one. I don't know how that really goes. But against some of the other decks with instants and sorceries, the deck performed really well, and I think I probably forgot quite a few times that Niv-Mizzet can't be countered. That said, you probably still want to keep up counter spells for their removal spells and stuff like that, or just if they play something really good on their turn, you probably want to be able to play Niv-Mizzet with a counter spell up most of the time anyways. So that makes it harder to play Niv-Mizzet in general. Whereas Keranos, a little easier to get on the battlefield on time. You don't have to warp your mana around it. Keranos has some interesting synergies with, wildfiring your opponent out of the game. We can't really afford to play Blood Moon or anything like that because, that would just, totally slag our mana base. There's no way we could play mostly basics with that kind of a mana requirement. So the whole deck kind of had to be stretched around that mana requirement. That said, like I said, Niv-Mizzet, once in play, is actually quite a bit better than Keranos. The fact that all your counter spells turn into cantrips, the removal spell turns into you draw a card, and Niv-Mizzet dodges a lot of a lot of removal spells because it's so big. So I think it was, I was surprised. That said, I don't think it's really that competitive. I've had this problem with Keranos in the past where it feels really good in the tournament practice rooms. We were in the for fun room. We did play against a bunch of competitive-ish decks. But Keranos feels really good, and then you take it into a league, and it just, there's just matchups that just feel unwinnable, and, and I think to some degree, the players play better. The decks are more refined. For example, that Animar deck. I think that's an example of a deck that's clearly not. It's disguised as a competitive deck, but it clearly wasn't. No self-respecting Animar deck would have played into burn like that. An experienced player would know that they need to play around burn if they're playing against a red opponent. They need to get them to 4. Which, still Chandra kills 4, but, having it die to an Electrolyze, that's not great. You need to be able to, and the fact that they didn't have any creatures to even do that, and then when we saw their creatures were kind of wonky. That wasn't your standard traditional Animar deck. And, with the other ones, you might be playing against players who just picked up the deck. And, they might not know their deck very well. So, you just catch them misplaying, and you don't know what's in their hand. So, I just think my experience with Keranos in the past is it feels really good in the tournament practice room, does really well, and then you take it to a tournament and you get 1-4, and it feels real bad. And I think the same thing's probably going to happen with Niv-Mizzet. It's a fun deck to play. It's super fun getting Niv-Mizzet in play. He does a lot of really cool things, but I don't think it's anywhere close to tier 1, tier 2.5 probably at best. But it is a good deck. It did some cool things, and that's largely on the basis of counter spells and burn spells, And it was pretty clear also that the weakness of this deck was mono green decks. Those decks are very, very good at working around counter spells and burn spells. They have a lot of ways of working around counter spells, like cast triggers and stuff like that. And then, they play a lot of creatures that can get around your burn. They have a lot of tools to work around a deck like this. Nissa especially, that doesn't rely on its commander very much, is going to be a pretty bad matchup for this deck. But the ones that do rely on their commander, I've played against Selvala with, really good removal spell decks where you're just constantly removing Selvala the second it comes into play, and they will still beat you because they will still find a way to, they can get an Eldrazi out. They can sneak in a prime time. They can cast multiple spells per turn to get around your counter spells. So that kind of deck is going to be really difficult for this deck. And so that's another weakness. You might take this to the league and you play against 2 mono green decks. Yisan's been pretty popular. Yeah, you can burn it out, but they still have a lot of strategies against you that they can deploy. So you might just mostly auto lose those games. Who knows? But still a very, very fun deck. I had a lot of fun playing it, which should be obvious from the fact that I played so many games over such a long time, and then I've spent so long talking about it. It's a really fun deck. So I suggest you give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.